iAXIS Radio, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
IAXIS Radio, WIAX, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
To remind you, each and every Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, tune in to the X-Tremitiez ENT Talk Show on IAXIS Radio. That's right, we on the free radio app as well as the 365 Live. That's right, Roku, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Apple TV, Roku TV, Fire Stick. That's right, tune in worldwide. DAVON Franklin, Jose Rivera. Keep it tuned.
Good evening, everyone. This is Senator Natalia Fernandez, and you are listening to X-Tremitiez ENT Talk Show, and we're on IAXISRadio.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the X-Tremitiez ENT Talk Show on IAXIS Radio, going live worldwide. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the 365 Live, Roku, Instagram, Fire Stick. That's right, anything that has the capability of having some technology going, that's right, you could just tune in and put the words IAXIS Radio. That's right. Not to be confused with IAXIS. No, IAXIS. Like the I and the X. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get right into it. But before that, just want to say salute to my co-host, Tyler, who's going remote today. How you doing, brother?
I'm all right. I can hear myself. I don't know.
Doing good?
Yeah. It's too damn cold.
I hear you. It's too cold to be out there in the streets waiting and public transportation, and you don't want to be spending money on the Ubers and all, as those prices have gone up. And I want to give a shout out to DAVON Franklin as well, who's unable to make it in today, but will be tuning in later, hopefully. But we're just going to go right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into the news right quick because I need to give you your up-to-dates. So, Governor Hochul, that's right, Governor Kathy Hochul, looks to improve, or let's say implement, subway safety measures as soon as possible. Okay? What are we saying by this? Because ever since the congestion pricing has happened, everybody stopped driving into the city. Therefore, you have people driving from downstate all the way to, Westchester County, and then coming to the Bronx and parking in areas of the North Bronx and taking the trains from Woodlawn, or if not Broadway, 235th, over on the Baychester side. A lot of parking is being taken up, and people are just jumping on the trains and coming down south. Once they reach to Midtown and they have to transfer, that's where all the problems happen, because everyone's on a platform. I don't know if anyone saw a recent post on Instagram and social media. There was about 500 people on a platform that were sardined. Hey, good evening, Tyrone Green. That's right. Peace, King. Behind Enemy Lines every Saturday. Wiz and Gatekeeper. Catch him. Great show. And everybody's out there, and with everything that's going on the subway with crime, you would think that, they will have put some measures into place for safety. Well, that's why Governor Hochul is now saying she's going to implement some subway safety measures as soon as possible. Well, it's a little too late, but whatever else you could do to prevent any future incidences, we welcome. Because, it was sad to see that a young lady who was a nurse, possibly, I believe she was sleeping, and she was lit on fire. And people were saying, why didn't she act up? Why didn't she go crazy? Why didn't she yell? Well, if you're exhausted, right, and working double shifts and averaging anywhere from 70 to 100 hours per week, I think that you're going to be so deep into your sleep when you're traveling that you won't even be conscious of what's going on. The subconscious, the id, ego, and id, doesn't compute. And a lot of things happen where people may even think that they're sleeping and not awake. Our prayers go out to that individual. But the suspect, who is a migrant and continues to be incarcerated, is facing a lot of beatings in prison, as people have been reporting, because they feel that this individual has been arrested and sent to his country and came back after being deported and is committing more heinous crimes. And it doesn't look like it's going to be a great time for him moving forward, because he's already been assaulted several times. So Governor Hochul, whatever it is you can try to do to alleviate this issue with the subway, the MTA, and the buses, we have open ears at this time, because, your State of the State address, you had stated that, the subway system is going to be in the forefront. Well, the MTA since 9/11 has been doing nothing but gaining funds. They saying that they're out of funds and they need to raise the fares. So then New York State goes and raises the minimum wage, right? That's supposed to take part by the end of this month. But if you're raising the fares and you're raising everything else from food and gas and electricity and, rent, what incentives are there for, the increase of the minimum wage? So, make it make sense, because you got a lot of people that are suffering. I want to say shout out to the Goth Rican Vegan. I want to say shout out to Franny Love. I want to say shout out to Trent Moore, the chef. That's right. Peter Miranda, Loyalty, Mark Wolf, everybody that's tuned in on IG, as well as the IAXISRADIO, page on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, 365 Live, Roku. We're on Apple TV. We're on any smart TV. So, tune in and hear the information that we're giving you. So, Governor Hochul, like I said one last time, you just said in the state of address that you're going to make things easier for us. Well, if we're going to be paying more money, then please show us. Stop talking and stop shutting down train stations when people need to get to work on, the weekends, and end up getting to work late or not getting to work at all and end up getting, written up or even suspended, because this isn't something to play with people's lives. Tyler, what do you think about that? You take the MTA, don't you?
Unfortunately, I do. I it's fast. That's its only benefit. It's fast. The NTA sometimes they will do track in the middle of the worst time humanly possible. Instead of doing in at night, nobody's taking the train. Yeah, let's do it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. Like that makes sense. And it's an inconvenience to everybody. In terms of safety, whatever she's gonna do, it needs to be something major. I think the one thing they need to do is crack down on people hopping onto the train. Because you got these wackos and maniacs hopping the train, and then they get in the train, and then they start causing messes inside the train, and then making everybody miserable. I hate taking the train personally. But it gets me where I gotta go. But again, if she's really serious about it, then she needs to make sure that she's making it actually safer and not just, let's put more cops on the platform. That's not doing nothing.
Yeah.
It's not. You can put cops on the platform. You can put them in front of the turnstile. You know how many videos I watched this week on Instagram of cops watching people hop the train and do nothing?
Right. Exactly, because they
You
don't
might as well have them not be there.
Yeah, and as well as the National Guard. They're there with their M16s on 34th Street, Penn Station, 42nd Street. They're there with their canines, and most of the time they're on their phones. They're not paying attention to everyone that's walking around.
Like, I don't understand what's the point of putting the cops there if they're not going to be cops.
Right. Exactly.
I don't get it. You might as well not have them even be there if that's the case.
So the Goth Rican vegan says she allegedly claimed the subways are safe. Safe, my pill, Puerto Rican white.
That the subway is the most unsafest way to travel. I don't care what nobody says.
At this point, yes.
The bus might be slower, yes, but I will 1,000% take the bus over the train.
Yeah. Even though they have some incidents that go on there, but it's not going to be as much as the underground.
It's not near. For every incident I've seen take place on the bus, I've seen about 20 more take place on the train.
All right.
That's just personal experience,
All right. Moving on to the next story. A 26-year-old man was arrested in Hunts Point for a fatal stabbing. Police say an arrest has been made following a fatal stabbing in Hunts Point in November. According to police, Pedro Luis Santana, 26, was included in the murder. The stabbing happened on Grinnell Place on November 24th. Police say that they found Jeffrey Jimenez stabbed in the chest. Jimenez was taken to the hospital where he died 2 weeks later. Police says that there was an argument between the two men prior to the stabbing. And, it's crazy because in Hunts Point, there's a lot of things that have always historically happened when it comes to crime. I remember when I lived in Hunts Point, there was a HBO van that used to go out there and interview the ladies of the night, let's say, right? They used to be out there prostituting. And, they used to bring them in a van and stay in there for like an hour, 2 hours, and then come out, wipe their lips and come out. Like, what's going on in there? And 6 months to a year later, we see that they did the HBO specials. So it was like, wow, living on Longfellow Avenue, you see this. And, it's crazy because a lot of those incidents stemmed from a time where Hunts Point was the murder death rate of the world. And people didn't understand that. It was like, how could a little community in the South Bronx be the murder death rate of the world when there are other places around the world where, there's a lot of genocide and all? The thing is that when it comes to a metropolis and you have your little neighborhoods and communities, and Hunts Point at that time, there was an average for 3 to 5 people dying in the daytime, and in the evening, another 3 to 5 because of the drug wars, right? And if living from Hunts Point down to Seneca or over to Fail Street, down to Longfellow, Bryant, and all the way to the back part of Randall, it was a lot of beef going on with these drug dealers that were from the 80s and 90s, just taking over abandoned buildings and making them like their, their forts. And police would come in and there will be shootouts. And we have a lot of things that we have to think about. If now in 2025, are we going back to that? Are we gonna have people getting stabbed up and everyone that's selling weed with fentanyl in it and selling it to these young kids that are acting crazy? Are they gonna start acting out their dreams of being some top criminal or act out a music video? Because a lot of the stuff that's going on the streets, that what they see on TV and on film. Food for thought. Thank you for tuning in. Great job, brother. We must bring awareness to these situations, of course. And the Goth Rican says, quick heads up, allegedly Sunday, NYPD undercovers and issue tickets to fare evaders. All right, there we go, Tyler. There you go. What you were saying. What is Governor Hochul going to be doing? And I heard about that, Goth Rican, that people are going to be dressed in plain clothes. They're actually going to be, plain clothes officers, not undercover officers. There's a difference. Undercover is when there's like a sting and an operation that's going on. Plain clothes are just, people that are monitoring situations that are projects put into place. All right. When I first started my criminal justice degree up in Monroe University, I didn't know what was the difference, even though I had family on the job. The difference between plain clothes and undercover. Think of Serpico as undercover. Okay, going in and finding out investigations and then collecting reporting and all that. Plain clothes is just, all right, somebody's jumping over the turnstile. There's a crime being committed afoot, and you're in plain clothes. You go and get them, but you're on the job. That makes sense? For anybody else that'd like to find out more on criminal justice, just tune into the Extremities ENT Talk Show on our Access Radio each and every Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Tyler, what is your feedback on just the stabbing at Hunts Point and, the youth getting into all these problems? But, of course, these were young adults that got into this problem.
When it comes to the youth of our generation, it's really taken me, getting out of high school to see how bad it was, or bad it is, I should say. I feel like even when I was in high school, it was really bad for kids my age, and now to think that it's even worse is just beyond me. I'm thankful to have two younger siblings that are far away from that nonsense. I just think I feel like if anyone's to blame more than anything, it's parents, because I feel like it's their job to keep them away from this. But I know I had friends that their parents actually influenced some of the nonsense that they're into, and it's just like, how are you a parent and you're okay with that?
Right.
How are you a parent and saying, "Oh, come on, son, let's go light up and smoke"? Are you? What is wrong with you? Why?
Parent, right? Not the friend.
Yeah. Why is it that your kid is in sophomore smoking weed like he's 32 in high school, not college, high school?
Great points.
And it make no sense. I always, that was just always mind blowing to me when I had friends and their parents would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm okay with my kids smoking weed," but what?
Right.
It's just it's beyond me that we live in a generation where parents are okay with that. It's like, oh, okay, you're okay with giving your kid lung cancer. Good job.
Thank you for raising that point, because most of these kids don't even smoke paper. They smoke tobacco, and they don't know that tobacco has the nicotine. And that is a part of the whole process of, the pulmonary diseases, which cause cancer. You get issues with the respiratory system, and then it turns into some pulmonary issues. And then you start hearing young people breathe heavy. And it's not because they have asthma. It's because they are suffering from the smoke inhalation. And years of that, you'll end up on a commercial, just like you see the guy that goes to the doctor looking healthy, and then over time, he starts spitting up blood, and then he ends up, in a cemetery. So thank you for that great point right there. And parents, stop being your kids' friends. Be a parent. Good points, Tyler. All right, moving on next. Body was found inside a private ambulance on Castle Hill. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A body was found inside a private ambulance in Castle Hill. There's new video obtained by your local News 12 shows the moments before the 64-year-old Peter Forrest was found dead in an ambulance vehicle this past Monday morning. Surveillance video shows just before 9 a.m. a Marquise ambulance parked on the end of Castle Hill and Hart Street. Nearly half hour later, a man gets out and heads into a separate car with a woman. By 10 a.m., a second worker for the ambulance company discovers Forrest's body inside the van. What is going on Castle Hill? Okay, I just mentioned Hunts Point. Right, of course, there's a little lake that divides Hunts Point and Castle Hill. I remember living on Hunts Point, and there was beef between Castle Hill and Hunts Point, right? And it was the water, Edgewater, that divided it. Now, by this radio station, you see that they altered the Sheridan Expressway to different ways, different routes, where you get out through Edgewater, and then you get out through Castle Hill, and then you get out through different parts of the Bruckner. And that was just like, people used to walk. And now you have these exits that you can actually go easy access to different parts. So, of Castle Hill, Randall, and Hunts Point. Now you're finding bodies inside of ambulance, private company ambulance. What is going on Castle Hill? Tyler?
Another day in the Bronx. That's what it sounded like to me. People think I joke, because I go to school in Queens, and everyone's like, I remember before I went, everyone's like, oh, Jamaica Queens is the worst place in New York to be. I'm like, dog, if you're saying that, that means you haven't stepped foot in the Bronx a single day. Right. The Bronx to me is the worst place humanly possible in New York. It's horrible. Yeah, it just sounds like more antics. I don't know why, crime is so like high up. I don't, but it's another day. Unfortunately, it's another day.
Want to give a shout out to DJ Malesa. Shout out to Bronx Animal. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in on IG, IAXISRADIO, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, 365 Live, Roku, the Fire Stick. Anybody that has the illegal sticks, we all on everything. Just tap in IAXISRADIO, the Extremities ENT. We're bouncing off of satellites. Next, ladies and gentlemen, don't get upset. I'm just providing the news. A 2,200-person migrant shelter expected to open in the Bronx by the end of January, as per the mayor's office. That's right, you heard me correct. The new shelter is slated to open near Bruckner Boulevard. A spokesman said the city will transfer single men from Randall's Island to the brick and mortar building in the Bronx, which has a capacity of 2,200 people. This comes as the mayor's office announced a total of 46 migrant shelters will be closed by June, and migrants in the shelter system had declined 27 straight weeks. So, ladies and gentlemen, they're moving them out of Queens because obviously the residents of Queens are tired of not being able to enjoy the resource of Randall's Island. It's a beautiful resource. Since when I was a child, I remember going out there with family and friends, and it was always fun in the summer. And people, would go out there and enjoy themselves. That's like, I don't know how many baseball fields, over 20 something. And then you're surrounded by water. Then people go out there and do cookouts, barbecues, and enjoy themselves. Now, since the migrant situation had, become a boom, of course, they placed a lot of the people there in those shelters, those man-made shelters. Well, now they're kicking them all out because, Mayor Adams is tired of it. Donald Trump is back in office, and they already got plans for putting people on buses and planes and shipping them out. Shout out to Diane Marie Carrion, bringing them to the Bronx. That's right. Where else do you want to take them? To the poorest congressional district in the entire nation, the South Boogie Down Bronx. That's what you want to do, right? Food for thought. is locked in. Shout out to you, my brother. Many after-school programs have been cut. Yes, they have, the Goth Rican. Everybody knows that these are the issues that we are facing as a community. You know, we're the only borough, only county that is connected to the U.S. continental United States. That means the Bronx is not over water. Every other borough, every other place is. They need a bridge or whatever. The Bronx is like Middletown, New York, downstate, about 2 hours north from here near the Catskills, where I also have a home out there, where is also the only place in downstate that is above, land. It's all rocky. So if you're ever going into a crisis and we're about to go into war, make your way to the Bronx or make your way up to the Catskills, because those are the two safest places where you won't need a bridge to cross and you won't need anybody to send any aerial support if you need any assistance. All right. So that's it for the 2,200 person migrant shelter. That's going to be close to here, the radio station, which is sad because right now all these buildings are thriving. All these landlords and all this real estate is happening around, the area of the South Boogie Down Bronx, just like what happened in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, as well as Williamsburg. Diane said, did you hear that a new building in Mott Haven will house 2,000 men? That's what I just spoke about. That's right. The 2,200 person migrant shelter is expected to open in the Bronx by the end of June, as per the mayor's office. Thank you for that. That's what we're speaking about right now. As per the spokesperson at the mayor's office, they're shipping them out of Randers Island and bringing them here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you remember last week, a friend of mine, his children were displaced. That's right. There was a raging fire at an Allenton apartment building. It was sad because it sent residents out into the freezing cold. It was a 5-alarm fire that broke out at the 6-story building on Wallace Avenue around 2 a.m. when everyone was sleeping. Okay. A total of 44 units and 198 firefighters to take that fire and put it out. About 7 people in 5 fires were injured, but all the injuries were not serious, according to the officials. So, right now there's going to be a lot of fundraising going on in the Allenton area of the Bronx. And a lot of people were displaced and are out in the streets. And we should really think about, coming together and helping these people out. You think about 47 units, all right? That's 47 units. An average unit that is not a studio or a 1-bedroom houses anywhere from 5 to 7 individual family members, right? A studio, if a person's not by themselves, they have their significant other. A 1-bedroom is probably, a family and a child. But the way things have been with the economy lately, you'll have a small family in a studio. You'll have a small family in a 1-bedroom. And the rent is out of control. Okay, the base rent for a studio is anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500. A 1-bedroom is anywhere from $1,500 to $2,200. A 2-bedroom is anywhere from $2,000 to $2,800, and so on and so forth. Diane says they can't help the homeless here, but could build a new building for migrants. Go figure. Of course, that is a great point. Before I go on to the next thing that just reminded me, Tyler, what is your take on that?
I to be honest, I'm not really sure what the topic is pertaining to. In terms of the fire, that's horrible, and I hope, everyone is safe. I hope there weren't too many, injuries or casualties, and I hope, a fundraiser or something is done to help them out. But in terms of the migrant buildings or whatever, I'm not too sure what that's about.
Yeah, so the migrant buildings are going to be right around here. So now when we come to the radio station, we're going to be seeing, of course, there's shelters out here, but they have, the appropriate measures in place from security, law enforcement. With these migrants out here that are coming, they're going to be able to roam free around here. Rebecca says, and with the groceries so high, we can't afford to live anymore with these crazy rents. That's correct. Right. And ladies and gentlemen, aside from the migrants being moved from Randall's Island to here, Diane said 3 bedrooms at Hunts Point is $3,040.
Wow.
$3,000. $3,040.
Wow.
Okay. If you don't have $3,040, you're done. You can't even get a 3-bedroom, and that's what everybody's looking. I remember when rent was at $500 to $1,000, and it was like a train house, meaning that you had bedrooms on each side and 2 bathrooms. Those now are going for like $4,000 to $5,000. Okay. So aside from the fact that we're going to have new shelters in the Bronx, aside from the fact that crime is high, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know if you've been paying attention, but if you're on the 6 train and you're getting on at Parkchester, that's right, the 6 train, Parkchester, check this out. There's a guy out there with a tablet asking for people's signatures and what their feedback is on the new casinos coming to the Bronx. That's right. It's not bad enough that we got crime so high. That's right. We got also, I know, Diane, on Bryan Avenue in Hunts Point. It's not bad enough that we got crime in Hunts Point of the stabbing we spoke about that happened in November, and they finally caught the guy. But now, and moving all those migrants from Randall's Island to Bruckner, and then finding people and private ambulances dead on Castle Hill. Guess what? With all that crime that we can't even try to review and tackle, we're going to go and bring casinos to the Bronx. That's right. If you get onto the 6 train on Parkchester Avenue, you will see an individual anytime from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. standing out there asking for people's signatures and feedback on the proposal to bring a casino to the Bronx. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. With all the real estate that we got left, which is none, they want to come and bring some more fun in here to take your funds. Check that out. Only in the poorest congressional district in the entire nation will we build a brain to bring a casino. Thank you, Donald Trump, because I know you had something to do with that. Since they took out Trump's links because you were president, guess what? Now they're going to bring a casino. There goes Davon Franklin, my brother. Bronx is the dumping grounds, I guess. That's right, my brother. So, hope all is well. So, this is what's going on. We got so much high crime. We got too many things that don't make sense, right? But yet we want to bring a casino. Rebecca says, don't need that. We have enough problems. Go to the one in Yonkers if you want to go gamble. That's right. Or go to Jersey. Or go up to Monticello, or go up to, some places where Connecticut, where it's known where people will go and travel. But no, you just have to go and bring it to the South Bronx. That's right, Diane. They
want to put that in the South Bronx.
Well, what do you think? And that's why I'm saying go put it over there where the Trump's links was, by the cemetery.
Yeah.
Right by the toll booth from Queens, because right across the bridge there, you also have the Results World in Queens. How? So you're telling me every borough is going to end up with a casino? Because we already know 42nd Street is the place where they're building that casino. When you get out in Times Square, you see this big blockage of a building. That's going to be the casino where Jay-Z's a part of, right? So then Queens has a casino. The Bronx is getting one. The last place that's going to get it is Brooklyn. So what? Every borough is going to have a casino. When the hell did we turn into a huge number spot? Okay. Everything gets dumped in the South Bronx. Of course, we're the dumping grounds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to talk about the weather. Whew! It is cold. It is so cold that when I saw that they're going to have a female play the Silver Surfer, I was like, damn, that's cold. That's how cold it is. All right. And right now, it's with the wind chill is 8 degrees. It's 22 with the wind chill is 8 degrees. I know. I was just out there. And shout out to Big Al for giving me the combination to the bear cave, and came in and was able to settle in because I was freezing out there.
I got a personal refrigerator next to my window. No, the window isn't the personal refrigerator. I leave my bottles of water there, and 2-3 hours go by. That mug is ice cold.
That's right. So right now, it is really cold. Tomorrow is going to be a high of 31 with a low of 23. And it's going to be cloudy. And then we got Friday is going to be springtime, 41 degrees with a low of 27, partly sunny. And then Saturday is going to be summertime. It's going to be a high of 45 with a low of 33, but it's going to be raining. And then we're going to go back to springtime, 40, 26 with rain on Sunday. And then Monday is going to go back to being winter when it's 28 degrees with a low of 16, partly sunny. Tuesday is going to be even colder, 20 with a low of 12, partly sunny. And then next Wednesday, it's going to be a low of 21 with a low of 10, partly sunny. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That is your 7-day going on. Diane says, so now more crime because they have to get more money to pay at the casino in the Bronx. Of course. Shout out to Franny, who's tuned in live. Let's pray for the homeless in California. They need lots of rain. That's right. That's right. The people that were displaced in California, just like the people here on Allenton. Over here when we had the fire last week. There's fires happening everywhere. The Gulf Rican, go to Slav Bar. This is nothing. I can't wait. I love the winter. That's right, Gulf Rican. You are a good person of the winter. The lady of the night. Dark night. There is snow on Sunday. Well, they predict that. They predict it's going to be snow on Sunday, Rebecca, but it may be slush because of the rain. And then if it is snow, then it's going to be possibly just flakes. It's not going to be anything that sticks. All right. Shout out to everybody. Boss Showers, the Golf Rican, Franny Love, Cost, TDS. All right. We got a lot of people in the check-in right now. Franny says, I was asked to sign and I said, I'm not signing that proposal. He says, well, it will bring more jobs to the Bronx. I told him that at what cost? Though, no thanks. We don't want any casinos here. Thank you for that, Franny Love. And then Goth Rican says, this is effing Gotham. Yes, it is. 212, shout out to you. Shout out to World Fashion News. That's right. Shout out to Community. That's right. Shout out to Bronx Animal, who says our wives and daughters are going to be in jeopardy because of the migrant invasion. Of course. You know that. Franny says rents are out of control. Glad the mayor's working on more affordable housing. Well, we'll see what is he really talking about. And then we got Food for Thought, who says some statistics state recently the Bronx is the #1 gentrification rebuilding state in all 5 boroughs. Thank you for that, Food for Thought. And then Goth Rican says there's 2 all-male shelters by the 6 train between Castle Hill and Parchester. There's 2 schools, a home daycare, a library, and a large community of mothers and kids. Shaking my head. That's right. Thank you, everybody, for who's in here. Shout out to Boss Showers. What up, boss, to you? Oh, man, everybody's coming in and speaking on these topics. Thank you for the feedback. And, we encourage you to continue to pay attention. And I know a lot of people don't like to listen to the news or know what's going on around you, but it's best that you tune in every once in a while. I don't say, don't binge watch it, but right before I leave, I like to hear what's going on with the world because I can know what I'm going into. Maybe, something may happen on the bus or the train. I might have to take an alternate route. Maybe if I want to drive, or maybe if I don't need to drive, or maybe if, there's something going on with the law and enforcement that I need to be aware of. These are the reasons why we have resources like the Extremities ENT talk show on IAXIS Radio, so we could give you the best of everything: politics, news, criminal justice, sports. My team lost 2 weeks ago, but we're seeing other teams that are losing. DAVON says the people of the Bronx need to get active like the other boroughs. That's why they don't have this in other boroughs. Well, that's right, but then the other boroughs get more resources. That's why the Bronx has always been the poorest congressional district, although it's utilized as for the resources it has, but it gets bled dry. And then, it's like everybody comes here to just take what we have and then push it elsewhere, which, I don't hate for that. But what is it that you're giving back to the Bronx? Because the Bronx at one time was being gentrified to the point where, we spoke up and we stopped a lot of projects. Now it doesn't matter who speaks up. We're being gentrified regardless, and then where we can't even afford to place homeless people in appropriate settings, you want to go raise rent. You want to bring casinos. We're finding people dead in ambulances. We don't even have the appropriate resources with the NYPD, but yet they're putting this total recall type of scan on trains where they could see if you have a weapon on you, but we can't even house people in the appropriate places when it's freezing below zero. Come on, man, make it make sense. And I want to thank everybody that's tuned in. Shout out to Junito from the Bronx. Salute to you. Goffreakin says, U.S. Citizen app. It shows updates as it occurs. If something is happening on my left, I walk to the right. Bronx Animal says, sorry at work, but listening to my brother. You already know, man. We thank you for the support. And that's what we want to do. We want to continue to give everybody the love and support as always. And, we're going to take a short commercial break, show you some music videos. And then we're going to hit up DAVON right quick, see how he's doing, to do a quick check-in. And then we're going to check in with Tyler right quick with some movies and critiques. We had a war show recently. And then since there, I see there's a few films coming out, so he can let the world know what to see and what to stay away from. And then we have our great friend, Rebecca Carrion, who's going to be speaking with us and DAVON. Hopefully he could check on. If not, he'll do the chat on his topic on relationships and the workplace. Is it appropriate or is it inappropriate? Only on the Extremities ENT talk show on IAXIS Radio. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you. Please be sure to call in if you'd like to give feedback on the topics. 347-708-0216. That's 347-708-0216. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Keep it locked.
No pude dormir pensando en ti, soñando contigo, porque no estás aquí. Anoche desperté en un baño de sudor, deseándote como nunca te había deseado. Hoy te vi de nuevo, después de tanto tiempo, caminando lo más feliz junto a tu nuevo amor. Hoy me di cuenta que no fui suficiente para ti. No importa qué daría, jamás serás mía. Y me pregunto qué diablo me hiciste para enloquecerme. Me convertiste en un triste mendigo a tu merced. Para detenerte, ¿acaso el amor que yo te brindé no fue suficiente? Tú me dejaste solo aquí, sin importarte, y me dejaste como a los
Give me the respect that I'm entitled to!
Yo. That's the Sonic. I'm pulling up. Yo, I got this. My mind's off the top off, topless. They have the top, no one off or go topless. Me and this money go together. We monogamous. Keep eyes on the prize like binoculars. Block the evil eyes. Sabacha with the little fist. Feel it in the air when I'm around. It's ominous. I'm around them up, run them down like a communist. You ain't about to eat, not even a little condiment. They bars cool for now. My bars survive the apocalypse. Scholar serve zombies, take hostages. Ransom a small fortune, that's a scholarship. Block their little footwork, sorta like a coppola. Mile quick to get to the bag, I'm a doctorate. You the type cooperate with the operatives. Talking to me, ma, then raise up your octave. Put them with they butt to the seat like a toddler. Try to call an officer, put them in the hospital. See me that heart beat, beep, beep, beep in the monitor. I'm a mean girl, cut the check, then garnish it. They be left in astonishment, that's my
This how the story start. Feds kicking the door, have more shit on the floor than a dog you park. Go ahead, rock while I pick this bull. The strip new, down to hound me, shit suit. I'm overrated, it's underrated. I'm under the clouds, over you clowns, hunger gaming. I'm from the county of kings, what it sound like. I'm 5'7", 5'8", be my crown height. Who it supposed to be? If you can smell my cologne, you too close to me. Cats outside studio doors, they hear the chaos. Smooth in the booth in the seance. Witchcraft, now witchcraft should I play on? When I'm on play, it's all the way, all day long, it's all they want. We don't need y'all for nothing. Cats get crushed, nobody from here, puss. That should keep y'all from coming. You won't come, my home running. You won't run in your mouth. We at the homecoming. This home's coming. I ghost rope. I'm a hip hop goat. Ghostbusters with the ghost gun. Then I got hope.
Never smooth but hard like a ramsack. Me and Sonic, the original hip hop band's back. Filling up stadiums cause I can. Generate enough waves to get you seasick on dry land. Opponents get a hectic scare. Believe you me, they'll be shocked with me like I was the electric kid. Froze to froze like ice kid. Knowing that the skills I possess truly rose like Christ did. Now, I gotta get off. Like here we go again. So roll a red carpet cause you know I'm gonna go again. Lyrics is free and rhymes may bail. So expect for me to spit more bars in the jail cell. Dangle a miss with angles to diss. Not knowing Brigante's in the building with the skills of mangling this. In fact, any other cat I'm smoking the stacks and then I treat them like the opening act. We got boys like this, me and the boys like this. And like PE, best believe bring the noise like this. Stage-wise, you won't remember who the rest is unless you mention the stat and truly knowing who the best is.
Cypher, I'ma be killing it. Still waiting on a check from Milk for top billing it. Down with Team Homie, so yeah, I'm chill willing it. Hip hop and Winter Garden of Rhymes, and I'm tilling it. Far as rappers in my class, I ain't seeing it. Far as beating all y'all ass, I'm foreseeing it. Rappers be a joke to me, straight comedy. Entry level 2-bit flows, I'm an anomaly. Y'all don't want no part of me, I'm what you call a prodigy. And Sonic mob so deep, we putting rappers to sleep. Y'all fraudulent, tell me where the order went. When was it okay to bite and not okay to write? Catch me flowing in foul at Brownsvillian. Used to spend my summers in Memphis with Grandma Lillian. Went to school in East New York, Thomas Jefferson. You could call me Kendrick Cole, hang with the best of them. And I be bringing war to y'all with no truce. Again, I see the fraud in y'all, I got proof. My name, I wear it proudly, Ebony Chief. And like I said before, y'all ain't fucking with me. See?
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Guillaume ist das beste Produzent in der Welt.
Oh na 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 na, oh na 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 na, oh na 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 na. Son llamaru, estamos ready para la rumba. Me siento fresh en la disco, el bajo retumba. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tengo muchas ganas de alcohol. Vamos pa' la disco, rumbeemos hasta que salga el sol. Hoy nadie se queda en casa, salgamos sin saber qué pasa. Porque si en la rumba pasó, en la rumba tengo. Hoy nadie se queda en casa, salgamos sin saber qué pasa. Esta canción el DJ colocó y la rumba estalló. Son llamaru.
gozadera que la rumba está buena y no quiero parar. Sírvame un shot de tequila, que la pista soy la quila, soy real, no paro de bailar. Mujeres bailando de falda sin vacilar, la rumba sigue encendida hasta el final. Así que dale, ven y quiebra, 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 que vinimos fue a disfrutar. Hoy nadie se queda en casa, salgamos sin saber qué pasa. Porque si la rumba pasó, en la rumba quedó. Hoy nadie se queda en casa, salgamos sin saber qué pasa. Esta canción el DJ colocó y la rumba estalló.
En la disco el bajo retumba, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tengo muchas ganas de alcohol. Vamos pa' la disco, rumbiemos hasta que salga el sol. Hoy nadie se queda en casa, salgamos sin saber qué pasa. Porque si en la rumba pasó, en la rumba quedó. Hoy nadie se queda en casa, salgamos sin saber qué pasa. Esta canción el DJ colocó y la rumba estalló.
Son llama, llama, Macromi, rompiendo el billete.
Welcome back to the Extremities ENT Talk Show. I'm your host, Jose Rivero. My co-host, Tyler.
Yes, sir.
The Critique. I'm not going to say Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Critique.
My friends call me that at work. It's all right.
And of course, DAVON Franklin is live on the chat right now. He was unable to make it today because he's under the weather. But he's on the chat right now. So if anybody wants to, chat with DAVON right now, we got it all locked. We got Tyler's remote. I'm here in station, and DAVON is also on the chat. So we got it all locked, ladies and gentlemen. So right now we're going to get into Tyler's segment for the next 20 minutes, where he's going to be giving you his critique and feedback on all films. On Tyler's point, movie critiques. That's right, nerd team. Hey, what's going on? Vocals by Jamil. Tyler, go ahead.
Yeah, man. So last Friday I got to see Den of Thieves 2, which for those who don't know is the sequel to Den of Thieves, the movie with Gerard Butler, 50 Cent, and O'Shea, Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson Jr. I very much enjoyed the first one, and I enjoyed this one. I thought it wasn't as good as the first one, but I thought it was pretty cool for what it was. It's a bit slower than the first one. It's kind of the build up to the heist more than, about the actual heist, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was entertaining. Listen, for those who don't know, the month of January is normally a dumping ground for horrible movies. This is, bar none, not a normal January movie. This is way better than a January movie normally ends up being. But if you like the first one, I could see you liking this one for what it is. Again, it's slower, but I thought it was pretty good. I actually had to, the theater equity in our generation is horrible. I feel like paranoid every time I gotta go to the theater because I'm afraid of people just acting like a bunch of idiots. So I'm sitting down watching the previews, and these two people show up. They're sitting right, mind you, the theater, it was not a packed theater. They can sit anywhere in the theater. They got to sit right next to me. I'm like, okay, sure. Then they start talking throughout the entire opening action sequence, and this woman is talking out loud, showing her husband some nonsense with her phone full brightness. I'm like, no, I'm terribly sorry. So I waited till the action sequence was over. I got up and moved. I was like, yo, I'm not dealing with this. You know, normally I've never done that. I've never got up and moved my seat, but I was just like, you know what? Because there have been times where I've just put up with it. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit here, try to enjoy the movie, and just try to tune them out. I was like, nah, I'm tired of it, you know. And it's it's kind of become a thing where people just act like idiots in the theater. We had famously this went viral when Wicked came out. Some idiot on Twitter was like, "Oh, show us your Wicked Part 1 pictures." And it's all these people taking pictures of the part in the movie where it says the title of the movie. People whipping out their phones in the theater and taking pictures. And it got so much traction to the point where studio took down the tweet, or they made the person take down the tweet because of copyright. But it was kind of a thing where it's like, yeah, you know, don't do that. Please don't do that. It's ridiculous, you know.
Vocals by Jamil agrees. She says you need your personal space.
You know, it's one thing if it's like, you know, a Marvel movie and every seat is taken, fine. You know, I don't care. The more the merrier. But if it's for a nothing movie and I'm over here purposely sitting away from everybody and you got all that space, there was literally me and one other person in the row. And they gotta sit right next to me. I'm like, yo, come on, bro. Anywho, theater equity sucks, and I kind of hate going to it. That's why Bay Plaza, I haven't gone to that theater in years. I hate that theater. The worst movie theater in the United States of America, bro.
Really?
Horrible.
The AMC theater?
I used to live in that theater. Now you couldn't pay me to go to that theater. The only time I go to that theater is if I just don't want to make the trip to the city, but it's very rare. You know, New Rochelle is another theater that I hate going to because it's just people don't know how to act. In the city, I have not had a single problem with going to the city. Everyone knows how to act. They're respectful. You know, it's calm.
Right.
But yeah, Den of Thieves 2 is pretty good for what it was. We got Wolfman coming out tomorrow. I'm excited about that. It's from the guy that did the Invisible Man. I very much enjoyed the Invisible Man.
Rebecca says I felt it was a little dragged out, but the action and suspense didn't disappoint.
Yeah, it was really long. It's like 2.5 hours.
Is that for Den of Thieves?
Yeah, it was very long for no reason. That movie had like 3 endings. I swear to you, there's a part in the movie where I thought it was ending. I started reclining my chair to get up. There was like another 10 minutes left. I was like, oh, okay, I guess. That movie had two endings too many. I was like, all right, this
5 stars. What do you give it?
3.5, a low 3.5.
Becca says they could have took out 20 minutes easy.
Yeah, there's parts where it drags. But Wolfman, I'm excited for Wolfman. If you guys have not seen the Invisible Man remake, I really recommend that movie. That movie is very good.
What, Invisible Man remake?
Yeah, from 2020. It's very good. It's got Elizabeth Moss, I think that's her name. She's very good in the movie. I love her as an actress. But yeah, he remade that movie pretty cool, and this movie looks pretty cool too because it's kind of like, from what I've heard, it's kind of showing like the POV of turning into the Wolfman and showing like what it does to a person, and I don't know, that seems pretty cool to me. And I don't know, it looks really good, and I have faith in this director because he did a movie called Upgrade. I don't know if you've seen Upgrade.
No.
But you slacking.
Well, that's why I got you. You always put me on. And I'll go
see if Al has seen Upgrade. I'm sure Al has seen Upgrade.
Yeah. Al, have you seen Upgrade? He's got to say no.
Oh, yeah, slacking. Al, you gotta watch Upgrade and talk to me next week. That movie is awesome. What was I gonna say? But yeah, there's not much.
And what about the new Captain America?
Oy. Listen, y'all know me. I'm a Marvel diehard. I am, but I honestly feel like this movie is gonna be a disaster. I do. The trailers have been very good. That's not my concern. It's just every day I hear, oh, they've got reshoots going on. It's like it's never a good sign when the movie's got reshoots 2 months before the movie comes out. It's like, what are y'all doing? So, do I think it's gonna be good? Not really, but I hope I'm wrong. If there's one thing I say about anything that I think is gonna be bad, is I hope I'm wrong. I hope that I walk into a movie thinking, "Oh, this is gonna suck," and I end up being like, "Hey, that was pretty good."
You were impressed. Right.
And I don't want this to be bad.
The movie you was talking about last week, the Nosferatu, was it?
Oh, Nosferatu, yeah.
And what do you give that out of 5 stars?
It was a 5. That was fantastic. I adored that movie. I absolutely love that movie.
Okay.
But yeah, there's not really much coming out, other than the Wolfman comes out tomorrow. This movie Companion is coming out soon. I'm excited for that. Huh?
Why are you excited for that?
Because they're marketing the movie in a way that we're not supposed to know what it's about, even though they put out a second trailer that said what it was about, and I'm pissed that I heard what it was about, because I didn't know that. They just kept releasing these little teasers that weren't showing really anything, and I was like, oh, well, okay. It felt good to have a movie look good, and I didn't know anything about it, and me being interested in it just purely based off the trailer. Mm-hmm. But studios are going to be studios. That's not enough to get people intrigued. No, you have to know everything about the movie before you sit down and watch it.
Okay.
But that looks neat. I'm excited for that. Most of the movies I'm looking forward to don't come out till May or June.
Which are what?
Mission Impossible is one of them.
Another one?
Yeah, supposed to be the last one. Supposed to.
Possibly where the mission becomes possible where he dies.
I don't know. They did that with James Bond. I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what? Not for nothing, I really enjoyed watching Daniel Craig be the person that actually shuts down James Bond. Because if it was Pierce Brosnan, it would have been too pretty. The only other person besides Daniel Craig would be Sean Connery. But we, of course, God rest his soul. But he was the only smooth talking man's man, James Bond, aside from Daniel Craig. All the other ones, they were like pretty prissy and too clean, too much like an agent, white collar type of guys. Davon says those trailers usually lead to sucky movies.
What trailers? Trailers that show the whole movie? Yeah. I don't know. I've seen great movies show the whole trailer in the movie.
Jermo says, don't tell me he talking about Superman, please. Superman. Oh my God. What about Superman?
What about Superman?
What do you think about that? Is it going to be good or not?
Hell yeah. I think it's going to be very good. I'm excited for that.
Why is that?
Because it feels good to have hopeful, saving kittens from trees Superman back. I liked the last version of Superman, but it feels good to have, like kind of comic accurate Superman again, where, he's all about hope and saving people, I that was my Superman when I was growing up. So, and we got Crypto the Super Dog. Can't doubt Crypto.
All right.
Yeah, got Crypto the Super Dog in there.
You think he's gonna be animated, or they're gonna have an actual dog or is it gonna be like super enhanced?
The dog looks real, so I'm sure for whatever they need him to do action wise, it'll be CGI'd. But if it's all CGI, he looks okay.
So he says it doesn't look promising at all. That's Germo. Shout out to Germo, one of the first artists of Extremities ENT. So, everybody's getting into Tyler's critiques. So, Tyler, the Nerd Talk, get it on. Let them know why they should be, getting ready for these films. Because if Superman's the one right now that everybody's kind of like iffy about. Tyler, did you watch the documentary?
No, I didn't. The Christopher Reeve documentary. No, I didn't. I meant to. I heard it was very good. I just haven't had the chance to sit down and watch it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I heard it was very good. It looked great. It looked like they put a lot of work and effort into telling the Christopher Reeve story, doing it justice. I kind of got choked up. I remember watching the trailer for it, and I got kind of choked up because I didn't know his story. So I was like, wow, like that's horrible.
Germo says Crypto looks like a Yorkie from the Bronx. What? And Becca says you have to. Okay, it's awesome. All right, watch and talk about it next week. Okay, all right. Now you're getting advice on films and documentaries. There you go. I love it. Anything else that people should get prepared for in the summer? Because the summer is usually when the explosive, action films come out, right? But who is the next action person? Is not just The Rock, like you said. You're sick of The Rock, and any other people that people should pay attention to that are up and coming that are going to be doing some great things.
Oh man, I forgot his name. It's the I don't know if y'all saw the movie Rebel Ridge on Netflix. The main dude from that movie, he's becoming kind of a big deal. Aaron Pierre is his name. He was in that movie, and I heard it was I didn't get the chance to see it, but from that movie, he got casted as Green Lantern for the new DC universe that they're doing, which I think is a great choice. He's gonna play John Stewart.
So now that you said, oh really? Now that you said that, I want to jump back to Fantastic Four, where that is also going to be a film that's I've heard on TV and ET. They were talking about the female that's playing the Silver Surfer, and I'm kind of like at like uneasy about that because I know Silver Surfer's slim, right? But I feel that the last Silver Surfer was okay. Why did they have to move away from that? Germo says, I'm looking forward to The Rock becoming Apocalypse.
Oh, I hope that never happens.
Really? But is he going to? Is there talk about that?
No, I hope that never happens. Absolutely not. In terms of Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer, that I don't think that's them gender swapping Silver Surfer. It's like that is a thing in the comics where
do you know if Liam Neeson will be doing any upcoming movies?
I think he's retired. If I'm not mistaken. I think he's retired.
And Jeremo says Silver Surfer female, FOH. And then you know what? I see he's doing commercials. Liam Neeson's been doing a few commercials lately. And I don't know, maybe they were already pre-recorded from like a year ago or whatever, but they're like traveling and stuff like that. And people making jokes of, anyone getting kidnapped when they with him, because this actually happened in real life. Aside from the films, it came out once that they try to actually get at him. And, it was foiled. It was a plan that was foiled because, he had security or whatever with him, but he actually got down and punched somebody in the face and all that. So Liam Neeson's the real deal.
Yeah. Shoot, what was I gonna say? The female Fantastic Four thing. It's a thing. It's a thing from the comics, so I can't get too mad at it. I'm excited for that movie. I think that them making it like a retro 1960s Marvel universe, I think that's gonna be cool. I like everybody that they're playing in the movie.
Like who?
Pedro Pascal is.
That's the guy from
Mandalorian.
The guy from from Gladiator, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be neat. I've always liked Vanessa Kirby as an actress, so her playing Invisible Woman, she looks like her in real life. So I was like, yeah. The guy that they have playing the Thing, I forgot his name, but he's from The Bear. Which, if you have not seen The Bear, get on that. That show is pristine. I got my mom watching it. I think she watched it the whole thing in like 2 days. I love The Bear.
Oh wait, Jermo said Liam Neeson got taken. He owed AF.
Ebon Moss Bacrock. I probably pronounced his name horribly, but he's playing the Thing. And then they got oh my god, I forgot his name. Eddie from Stranger Things in there.
Okay, Stranger Things. That's dope. The cast, anybody from Stranger Things, I would go watch. Not every comic is good. They don't need to be on screen. Do you agree with that, Tyler?
I don't know anything about Fantastic Four, but
not every comic needs to be on screen. Do you agree with that or disagree?
To an extent, but I do think the Fantastic Four should be in a prominent role. The fact that Hollywood has tried so many times to do Fantastic Four and somehow failed is beyond me.
Right.
But, I think they should be in a prominent role. It all comes down to the movies that they're in and who's making them, you know. But I definitely think they should be in a prominent role. There's no reason why we haven't had a really strong Fantastic Four movie. Like, I like the ones from 05 or whenever it came out. You know, the one with Chris Evans as Human Torch. They're stupid, they're childish, but I grew up with that, you know. But yeah, you're not wrong, Rebecca. Some comics don't translate in live action. That's right. You know, the Spawn movie was horrible.
Which one? The one with John Leguizamo?
Is that who's in it? The one from the 90s with that.
Yeah, the first one that came out.
With that horrible CGI, yeah. And they've been trying to do The Crow over and over again since the original. And
what about our guy Wesley Snipes? Like you said, being the original is coming back, and I understand he's going to be doing cameos, and they're pushing for him to be coming back as Blade, not the new guy that got shafted, but actual Wesley Snipes. You know, this guy was in prison for tax evasion, and they thought his career was done, and then all of a sudden he got revived with, you know, the help of Deadpool and Wolverine. You know, what do you think about that?
Listen, I never thought I'd see Wesley Snipes as Blade again in my life. So when he showed up in Deadpool and Wolverine, that was like there was so many things in Deadpool and Wolverine that had me going crazy. When he walked out, I about did a flip in my chair. I said, "Ain't no fucking way they got Wesley Snipes." Like, that's crazy.
There you go, Tyler. They should have started with Dr. Doom, not RBJ. First of all, if not Silver Surfer, we gotta be real. Being female takes a lot of shine away from it.
What does being a female have to do with that? I don't agree with that at all.
Okay, and then I would have been hype if it was the real Silver Surfer. I don't know what that silver. Oh, God, please. I'm not even going to finish that sentence.
All right.
So, Tyler, all right. So, anything that is going to be a flop within the next 5 months?
I truthfully think Captain America. I think that movie is not going to make as much as they want it to. Anything, the Snow White remake. I think that is going to bomb so bad.
Snow White remake?
Yep. They're remaking Snow White, and it looks terrible. They're making it a mission to change the story so that way it's like basically going against what the original was, and it's all CGI heavy, and the movie looks so fake and digital, and it doesn't help that the main actress made comments that turned everybody against the movie, and the movie has like a $250 million budget or something. That movie's gonna bomb so bad, and I don't feel bad. Yeah,
it has a $250 million budget, and it's just gonna flop.
Yeah, I think it looks terrible. Truthfully,
She agrees with you. She agrees with you.
It's to the point. I went to go see Sonic, and they showed.
You gave 5 stars.
No, I gave a 4. That was pretty good.
Sonic 3?
No, 4. Yeah, Sonic 3, I give a 4. Yeah.
Okay.
I went to go see Sonic, and when they showed the trailer, when it ended, a guy 3 rows back said, "That looks terrible."
Germo says, "Had you tweaking, Rambo." All right. So Tyler, how are we gonna close up?
I don't know. I say go see Wolfman. I haven't even seen it. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good.
So for this weekend, anybody that it's gonna be warmer, it's gonna be around springtime and the cold weather in the 40s. So if you want to go out and take a date night or whatever this weekend, please go out and check out which film?
Wolfman.
And who stars in Wolfman?
Christopher Abbott and what was his name?
Captain America will flop, and Anthony Mackie will be retired as Captain America. Chris Evans is back. German was trolling.
Julia Garner and Christopher Abbott are in the Wolfman.
Okay. All right. Tyler, be sure. Oh, and Julie Garner. All right. Be sure to tune in each and every week to Tyler's Point, movie critiques, nerdtalk.official, where they can find you after this show is over. You're going live tonight on YouTube. Let them know.
Yeah, right there. It says it on YouTube. Just type that in. We'll be doing a watch along for The Invisible Man, the remake that I was talking about, because it's from the Wolfman movie is directed by the same person that did that movie. So we figured we tie that in.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to tune in each and every week with Tyler's Point, movie critiques, only on nerdtalk.official on YouTube every Wednesday from what time to what time?
I mean, 8:45 we start, but we don't know when that ends, you know. We end when we want to end, you know.
All right. Love you too, bro. Love you, Germo. We're going to take a short commercial break, and then we're going to come back with a topic that DAVON Franklin brought up last week about work relationships. Is it appropriate or inappropriate? All right. At work relationships. You know, people have different points of view, and we want everybody in the chat to give their feedback. Is it appropriate or inappropriate when it comes to hanging out, when it comes to different scenarios? And DAVON is going to be in the chat. And, you know, he's going to be posing questions and all. We also have our guests that is going to be a part of it. We have Rebecca Carrion that's going to be coming on along with Tyler, myself, and DAVON on the chat, and anyone else that wants to chime in. Also, if you want to call in to give feedback, 347-708-0216. That's 347-708-0216 on the topics that we got going on live. We're going to come back in a few minutes after a short commercial break, watch some music videos where we promote you, the independent artist, only on the Extremities ENT Talk Show on IAXIS Radio with Jose Rivera and Tyler. You already know, and DAVON Franklin on the chat. Big ass.
We gotta make it last forever.
everything strong. Now I know it's been tough. It's been hard. But the love, we gotta make it, baby. We gotta make it strong. I can't get enough of you. Said I can't get enough of you. I can't get it. We gotta go through the things we gotta go through to make it last forever. And oh, baby girl, we're gonna make it last. We're gonna make it last. We're gonna keep it strong. We're gonna make it last. We're gonna make it long. Girl, I'm not just saying words. We're gonna be together. We gotta make it through the stormy weather. Oh, 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 oh. Say, oh, 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 oh. And I know it's true. We're gonna make it last. We're gonna make it long. We're gonna make it last. We're gonna keep it strong. Girl, I'm not just saying words. We gotta make it last forever. We gotta make it last forever. We gotta make it through the stormy weather. We gotta make it. We gotta make it last forever. Oh, I can't get it. Girl, I'm not just saying words. We're gonna be together. We gotta make it through the stormy weather. I can't get it. Oh, 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 oh. Say, oh, 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 oh. We gotta make it last forever.
I wanna go with you anywhere, up to the moon and the stars. I just wanna go up. Baby, take me for a ride on your magic carpet. 747 glide through the clouds, baby, be my pilot. Hot air balloon, you're making me swoon, baby, that's what you do. You see all the mother fellas, they be trying, but they don't come through. Kind, patient, understanding. You give good kisses, hugging, squeezing. So I'm betting my cards on you. Keep doing what you do. See how the story began. like I like her. You're giving me good vibes, what's running through my mind. Every day I've been waiting for a lover like this to come through. Take me up somewhere my mind can't explain. Wanna feel it rushing like heroin through my veins. So I'm betting my cards on you. Keep doing what you do. I can't wait to see how the story ends. You make me go,
Welcome back to the Welcome back to the Extremities ENT Talk Show. I'm your host, Jose Rivera, along with my co-host that is in the chat, DAVON Franklin and Tyler.
Yes, sir.
Right there. We're trying to get our guest on right now, so I would like for DAVON Franklin to actually, type in the questions that he has for Rebecca. While Rebecca's trying to get on screen right now, we're going to do a quick recap. So the recap. Hey, Lacey. Hey, Golf Freakin. Thank you. You're here. Diane Marie, thank you. Thank you, everybody that's come on to the YouTube. So what's going to happen is, we're going to speak about relationships. And if they're appropriate, oh, there goes DAVON. All right, my brother.
DAVON.
So, DAVON, we're going to do a quick recap on, the topic. I know. You're having a little issues with speaking right now. So
hey, what's up, man?
Oh, there you go. So if you want to do a quick recap on what the topic is from last week and why you came up with that. Why you came up with that question and that topic.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. I'm just not hearing y'all getting everything set up over here, man. Repeat the question, my guy.
No, the reason why you came up with the topic and what does it entail?
Oh, the reason why I came up with the topic is I was, as you know, we was watching. I don't know if y'all was watching. I was watching on the segments that they had going on pertaining to the what do you call that? What do you call that? The like the online chats that they have pertaining to like the Joy Taylor Skip Bayless situation, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? It was talking about the hairstylist that, you know, is suing because of what you would could consider, like, I guess, you know, over friendly sexual advances that people were trying to make at her. So I got the inspiration over that particular lawsuit. And, you know, just being in the work environment, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, over the years, and I've seen so many different instances of situations where I've seen situations whereas you've had those who you know, they've carried on those kind of relationships, and the relationships seem to work out fine or whatever have you not. And then you had other situations where it was like may have been like a beneficial type relationship for some, and then when it was no longer beneficial, you know what I'm saying, you know, certain grievances and certain motions were filed, you know what I'm saying, to basically air out the situation. So, you know, that's where I got the inspiration from, you know, about the, you know, work related relationships, and you know, do you feel that is appropriate, or, you know what I'm saying, how, you know, basically to get the ins and outs. And basically what I want to do, I want to have a young lady on to get the feedback, because a lot of men come into the situations and they see, you know how they do. You know, you see a young lady on the job or whatever have you not. She look like somebody that you may want to talk to or whatever have you not. So you actually, you know, you try to give it up. You try to, you know, you try to approach. And what I want to get feedback from young ladies, such as the lady that we're talking to right now, you know, so whether or not those type of situations are welcome. Do you like it? Or, you know what I'm saying, is there any point where it's cool, or any point where, or is it just completely off, you know, out of bounds, off limits completely, like, you know? So
these are the type of questions we used to ask on the IG show I did about a year or two ago with 212 girl, Spa Girl, where it was called Women versus Men. And I love that. I wish I would have had this topic on there. Goth Rican, here is my input. I met my then boyfriend who became my husband. All right. So any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome our guest for the evening, Miss Rebecca Carrion. All right. Yes, I missed the show as well, 212. But we're chiming into the chat over on YouTube on iAccess, and support Rebecca on her feedback. So, Rebecca, you heard what DAVON had, you know, presented, and, you know, the feedback that he would like to hear from you as the guest for the evening on this topic. So, please let everyone know who you are and what is it that you do by day, and, you know, that, you know, your life areas, so to say. Go ahead.
All right, so my name is Rebecca, and I just first of all want to thank DAVON and you, Jose, of course, for bringing this topic to light, because it's a little taboo, right? People don't like to talk about it, but it happens. It happens a lot in the workplace. I have my own wedding planning business, so I come across a lot of people, a lot of relationships in my business, but I don't think it's okay to fraternize in the workplace, and I mean. To an extent, it can be, but then people always take it the wrong way, right? So I've had a lot of experiences where I have been accosted, if you want to say, because you can be too nice and you could just be friendly and stuff, and people take it the wrong way. So I just think that work should be work and play should be play.
Right.
So would you like to? I know last week you spoke a little bit about it, you know, where you say you was accosted. Would you give a little like scenario about it?
Well, when I went to high school, I went to a vocational high school, and I graduated as a practical nurse. Okay. So I was 18 when I went into the work field as a nurse, 19 when this happened to me. And I didn't know any better, right? These are doctors, you know, you're supposed to listen to the adult. I'm still a teenager. So they used to come in and you know, I've been friendly. By nature, I'm friendly. My mother always taught me to be friendly, be nice to people, you know, respect your elders and stuff like that. So I think that it was taken as maybe I was being too friendly, and every day it was something new. It was, oh, you look so pretty. Oh, your lipstick is nice. Oh, this or that. And then we all went for a retirement party one day. and drinks were had and stuff, like, not me because I was underage, but drinks were had by them, and then things were said. And the next day at work, I was like cornered in the supply closet. Ooh. And that wasn't a good feeling. Right. And I went to the higher ups, and I felt like they weren't listening to me. And I had somebody tell me, well, he's a doctor, you should welcome the advances. I'm like, no. What? I'm 19 years old. He's like 30 something, he's an old man. So I made a complaint, and they didn't listen to me. I was actually transferred out from the department. I used to work with the AIDS pediatric department. And I mean, that was everything to me. Like, these kids were everything to me. And I was transferred out because of him. So I don't think that was fair. And I still think it happens in the workplace, today. Women are not taken seriously. They think that, well, you dress a certain way, you wear too much makeup, or, well, you should have, you probably said something. And I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Miriam, who welcomed you to the podcast. Yeah. Miriam, who you was a part of the Three Kings Day Princess Carry On. And there was Miss Miriam Sanchez, who actually hosted the event over at the Monroe Houses and Soundview, one of the toughest projects in the Bronx, in the city. But DAVON, please continue.
Because that was also part of the lawsuit that was in reference of how the individual actually went to their an individual to complain about the situation, and he was basically told to basically suck it up, and that you should actually you should be flattered, or it's something that you should that you should want.
Agreed.
So yeah, that's But how do you go about because I know that was that's a separate issue incident. How do you go about curbing or is there a method that you actually learned from that experience to how you deal with, because I'm pretty sure that's not the first time or the last time that you dealt with that.
It has happened all along the way, right? I mean, in the workplace, in social settings, and everywhere, like politicians, that get too handsy when you're taking a picture with them, and they put their hand too close to your behind. Let's just say it the way it is, right? Right. I mean, these are not wanted advances, but they think that it's okay because I was the princess for the Bronx Puerto Rican Day Parade. Let's just put it like that. Okay. And I took a lot of pictures with a lot of people, a lot of dignitaries, a lot of politicians, and they just think that because you're there and you're a woman, it's okay to be like that. And it's not. I'm a professional. You don't know my background. Yes, I'm wearing this crown here, but I have my own business that I worked on for 13 years. I'm a wedding planner, and I'm a nurse as well. So, right. Have some respect, and they don't have that respect. So they think that because you're up here, you have this quote unquote high paying job or a high position or whatever, that you should want these advances. And they're not advances that are wanted at all. Right. Just because I'm nice to you and I say, hi, how are you? Or I hug you, or I might give you a kiss on the cheek. That doesn't mean that I want to go sleep with you.
I think that's the misconception that a lot of men carry when they're in these areas. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the familiarity and how friendly you are, and if that's why it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to criticize women when you compliment them and they don't speak back, because it's like, okay, if she speaks back and she be nice, then usually for most guys that's an indicator, a sign that she's interested, so I can come back and speak more. So I can see how that's frustrating.
Right. I got Eileen Perez. Please, everyone that's on my chat, go onto YouTube and type in IAXISRADIO on YouTube so you could join the chat. But Eileen said, oh my, I felt so bad for her. And then she says, that was totally unfair. What happened to you? And then Lacey just said, it's sexy harassment, point blank. Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. It is. And it's sexual harassment. That's right. It's called entitlement on their end. Very mistaken. Yes, Rose.
Absolutely. That's what it is.
You work in the medical field as well, and you can identify with Rebecca. And these advances, and what Rebecca was saying is coming from a point of status, right? When she said that they're up here in this position, and then a young lady that's hot to trot right out of school, these men see her, and then I'll tell you right now, and if anyone gets upset with me, then that's fine. This is why we're speaking about this. But there's men that think because they go to third world countries, such as the Dominican Republic, such as all these other countries where taking on 14, 15, 16-year-old girls because they're slim and have tight bodies, that they're very accessible due to just payment because of their poverty where they live, and this is all they know how to do to survive. They think that when they come back to the States, they still have that mojo and they can do that to every other person. What are your thoughts about that, Rebecca?
I mean, I agree. Listen, a lot of men still think that women are objects to be had, right? And that they can do whatever they want. You can't say anything. I'm gonna provide for you. I'm gonna give you a good life. So you just be quiet and come and do what I say, and you would think that that was in the past, but it's still very, very current. Like men really think like this. And when you go into the workplace as a professional, as a woman professional, you don't get the same respect that you do as a man. You don't. You have to fight tooth and nail for it. I know I have to. I still have to fight for it. I go to weddings and sometimes these wait staff from the catering company talk down to me because I'm a woman. And then I have to put them in their place. I'm the one that's in charge. I am the one that's running this, so you have to respect me. It's just the bottom line that a lot of men don't respect women. They think that we're objects to be toyed with, and we're not.
Do you think that
hold on a second, Davon. No, the meeting men. I'm sorry, Davon. The meeting says the sexual harassment when advances are unwelcome, especially once you've been explicit on your lack of interest. That's from the Minty Men. Go ahead, Davon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Do you think that that organizations or companies do enough as far as with because we used to have something called sensitivity training, what I'm saying, that actually used to discuss those type of issues, what I'm saying, the wanted advances, the unwanted advances, and stuff like that in workplaces. Do you think they do enough during these sessions, or or should there be more done?
I think there should be more done, and I think it should be taken more seriously. I mean, I've been part of some of these sensitivity trainings, and people think it's a joke. Like, they're laughing when the person is saying stuff. They think it's, oh, it's funny. Oh, this is going to happen. No, this is real life, right? This is happening. Right. And the person that is happening to is not laughing. Like, I wasn't laughing. I mean, it's happened to me so many times, I can't even tell you at this point, seriously, over the years. Right. And, yes, they're putting this training in place, but nobody's taking it seriously. When you go to HR and complain about it, a lot of the time they look at you like you're crazy. And what did you do? Did you lead them on? Did you ask for it? Did you go on a date? Were you too nice to them? That's the problem.
Hello, wellness. All right, Big Al.
Go ahead, Big Al.
Big Al, being in the position you're in over at a hospital setting, and you get a lot of the complaints and are involved in a lot of the HR meetings that Rebecca just mentioned. What is your feedback and point of view on this topic?
So nowadays, especially since the past 3 years, there's been an implementation of no tolerance. Mm-hmm. And what it has done is sent a message that there's just certain things in the workplace that's not going to be no longer tolerated, from the sexual harassment to the workplace violence to the bullying to the threats to the fighting amongst employees. All of those things has been a mainstay now, where there will be no tolerance. And if you go into the workplace thinking that you could carry on like that, they're going to get rid of you. And even some parts you can get indicted and have charges against you on some of these things.
Hey, Tyler.
What's up?
Well, you work in the retail world, and speaking about Miriam said Rebecca is 100% correct. You work in the retail world and you work with people more in your generation and age, right? Listening to what we're speaking about on a professional level in the older crowd, but you're but you heard what Rebecca went through and your age bracket, and being in a fast paced retail market. What is your take on it, and what experience? What can you give back?
So I feel like so I kind of started touching on this last week, but my store is very strict with in-store relationships. If they know about it, it's a wrap. You won't last a day after they hear about it, because that's just that's how they rock. Which it seems a little extreme, but I get it, because let's say it don't work out, that creates tension in the workforce, and all that. So and when it comes to my job, we don't really get closer other than friends. That's just kind of how we feel about it, because at the end of the day, we all struggling to make a buck. So I feel like we all keep it professional and all that. I don't know if that's all retail, but when it comes to my store, I feel like we're very professional in there. That's just, I don't feel like we're the kind of group that would go and do something, in the realm of sexual harassment. That's just from my personal experience anyway. I haven't seen anything that would suggest otherwise. I don't know if that means that we're a good bunch of young adults, but I don't know.
Here's the flip side of it, because I saw a comment earlier. I think it was from the Goth Rican, I think. It said that she actually met her husband, her boyfriend, now husband, on the job. So, right. Miss Rebecca, can I add? Is there a time where or it's like, how do I want to ask? Because you do have a lot of people that do kind of like meet on the job and kind of like build relationships on the job, like what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
right. I mean, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I know a lot of people that have met their significant others on the job. I met my significant other on the job. Let's be real, okay? That's how I met him. But I think that overall, it can create such a messy situation when people are dating at work, right? Because what about if something happens? What about if you break up? What about if it's if it's a supervisor and you're below the supervisor, and then they get mad, or she gets mad and she wants to say, well, now it's sexual harassment because I want to get back at you. You understand? Yes. So it can be so muddy and so crazy that I think, there are exceptions, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I just think overall, work should be work. It should be professional. Yeah, we all go out and maybe have drinks every once in a while, friendships form, but it's just so many things that can go wrong,
Yeah, I get it. It's not a right or wrong question or answer or anything like that. It's just give perspective. Go ahead, Jose.
So is it, just to piggyback off of what DAVON said, but is it a flip side, Rebecca? Is it just only females, or is there a Uno card with reverse?
As far as males going through the same thing?
Correct.
Yes. I've heard stories, let me tell you something. There's some women that think that it's okay to grab a guy's ass because, oh, he looks great, let me do this, and that's not right either. Yeah. It's not right. Just because you're a woman and he's a guy, that doesn't mean that you get to do that to him. He didn't ask you to do that to him. It's the same thing. It goes both ways. And
have you ever been put in a position, DAVON or Tyler or Al, when you're walking through a group of women and all of a sudden it gets quiet and then they start looking at you and chatty, and then one of them actually grabs you like that?
No, I'm on my business at my job.
Not necessarily, but nah. I think there's also the perspective, because it's different, because for some guys, not all guys, you know what I'm saying, but for a lot of guys, they find that shit kind of flattering. You know what I'm saying? Should it be like that? So it's kind of vice versa. It's kind of but
Big Al.
Well, for me, because of the positions that I've held in these environments, I've always set up not really boundaries, but levels of respect that I carry with myself so that people don't approach me that way. There was a time when there was word on the street in the workplace that, oh, you better be careful if you're going to approach him because he look like he's really serious. So again, it's not that I was being mean, but it's just a firmness and a level of respect that I have for myself that would not allow someone to approach me in that way.
Right.
It definitely eliminates it. It definitely eliminates the approachability factor when you carry it like that.
Diane says the devil's a liar. But I've been put in a position where, just like Al, I've been, serious and people call me conceited or say that I'm antisocial. But, you guys know me. I'm fun-loving, outgoing, and, then that's being used against me like I'm the gigolo. And I'm like, what the hell? Jesus Christ, I just said gigolo. I haven't.
But that's the thing. I also want to ask Rebecca this because that also goes along the lines of shaming. You know what I'm saying? Like when like you were saying, like the vice versa, when women approach men or carry it like that or do a lot of them actually think that you're supposed to be able to take it and handle it, and if you don't, you're like, oh, what are you a punk, da, 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 da. And I'm pretty sure that happens to women on the other end, with men actually shame them in kind of the same matter. Have you ever experienced that, Rebecca?
Well, yeah, I have. Because then if you're not friendly, then you're a bitch. Oh, why you being a bitch? Like, I'm just trying to be nice to you. I'm just trying to buy you a drink. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't want your drink. I can buy my own drink. I don't need your
People
drink.
hate to hear the word no matter what it is.
Exactly. That's what it is.
I love the comments that were just posted up. Wellness, Jose and Devin, super respectful. Thank you for that. Goth Rican said, yep, I'm firm because of it. People at previous jobs have deemed me a bitch. Wow. Why? Because you set a limit, you set standards, right? Because the respect level is that, listen, I'm a person that has certain standards. I hold myself accountable because that's what it is, right? At the end of the day, we're holding ourselves accountable for our actions. And some people take it the wrong way, good, bad, or indifferent. You're going to respect me because I have a significant other, or even if I don't have a significant other, you're not going to view me as a person that you can just come up to and try to touch or try to speak to in a certain way. So, Rebecca, closing out, what would be your final words to the world on this topic?
I just think that you need to respect me because I'm a woman and I'm a professional and I'm your colleague. Okay. If I show you anything else, I will let you know 110% that I'm interested or that I want to move forward with something else. Don't assume that just because I'm being nice to you, I say good morning, or I just, I laugh, I'm flirting. It's never like that, and it's sad because I'm a nice person by nature, and I'm very guarded now because you never know who's going to take it the wrong way. So I just think people need to be aware and they need to be respectful of each other. Know that everybody worked hard to get to where they're at, and everybody's a professional in what they do, and just respect that, women or men.
Amen. So, Becca, you said you're a wedding planner. Wellness says excellent. Excellent, Rebecca. So, you're a wedding planner. Where, if anyone is planning any special events, because from what I understand, you got Brooklyn on lockdown, places in Manhattan, places and the Bronx and even Westchester County, even Jersey. So you're like the event person to go to whenever there are spaces that are needed for like events, or you also are the event planner. So where can people contact you for more information?
So my company is called The Unruffled Bride. We do wedding planning, event planning, lighting, anything and everything we do. So we do corporate events as well. So if you ever wanted to find us, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're everywhere. The Unruffled Bride.
Okay.
All right. And what could everyone expect from you? What kind of service?
The best.
Good answer. Hey, Davon, I think somebody prepped her for the interview on TV and all. Well, because she's a princess, so she's been on television before. Shout
That's
out
right.
to Bronx Puerto Rican Day Parade. Would you like to give them a shout out and what's coming up and what's going on?
Yes, Bronx Puerto Rican Day Parade is back better than ever. We're actually having a recruitment event on Sunday at Made in Puerto Rico. So if anybody wants to join, I was the princess and from 2017 to 2019. It was an awesome experience. I recommend if you want to do it, please come out Sunday to Made in Puerto Rico and fill out an application. And if you want more information, you could hit me up on Facebook or Instagram.
Gothic Rican Vegan wants to know, do you do Gothic events?
I could do, yes. I'm dying to do a Gothic event. Please reach out. I want to do one of those.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Davon, any last words on your topic?
Actually, I think we're going to delve into that topic a little more because there's more conversation that needs to be had about the mannerisms. I think Al touched on something very, very important when he talked about how he carries himself and the position and the presence. Because even with women, I've seen that with women as well, how they carry themselves. Not to mess with them in a certain type of manner. So we'll delve back into that conversation again at a later date. So for sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like we're gonna have to bring back women versus men. So, Lacey, thank you for speaking up as a woman in sexual harassment wellness. What time on Sunday? Becca?
1 p.m.
1 p.m. at Made in Puerto Rico, located on East Tremont, correct?
Yeah, you can hit me up on Facebook, Rebecca Carrion, if you need some more information.
All right. So, Davon, any last words?
Live, love life. Take care of each other, man. Peace.
Tyler?
Davon hit it on the head, bro. I always like hearing y'all two final thoughts. It's always a nice little thing to go off the air with,
Becca?
Just be kind to each other. We're all going through stuff that we don't know what we're going through, so just be kind.
Big Al?
Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path.
Amen.
Amen.
If I learned something more today than I did yesterday, it wasn't a day wasted of life. See you next week, each and every Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., only on the Extremities ENT Talk Show on IAXISRADIO. See you next week. Thank you. Love you.
You see me walking down the street and I start to cry each time we meet. Walk on by, walk on by. I just can't get over losing you. So if I seem broken in two, walk on by, walk on by. Make believe that you don't see the tears. Just let me breathe in private, 'cause each time I see, I break down and cry. I break down and cry. That's all that I have left. So let me hide the tears and the sadness. You